This is Charles, or I call it Charlie, the new French collector tier 6 tank destroyer. Yeah, very nice tank. For me it's new because I unlocked it yesterday. Maybe some of you got this tank already. Some of you didn't have the battle pass yet and thinking of buying it to unlock this tank. Yeah, it's really worth it. I like to play with this tank. Looks pretty cool, of course. And also reminds me a lot to the Hellcat, not in the design but in the abilities. We got here about 2.4 DPM, but I prefer to use calibrated shells, so with that I pen everyone. Really insane penetration for a tier 6 tank. You are not having any problems than to pen, for example. We know we have to struggle to pen, for example, the IRL-44, the French heavy tank, and the T-29 and the Tiger 1. With this tank you are not going to have problems to pen any tier 7 or tier 6 heavy tanks because we have insane penetration. And this tank reminds me also to the Hellcat. We got with the Hellcat also fast reload time, 5 seconds, also insane penetration and good mobility. It's a tank destroyer with a good mobility, as we can see, 36 average speed and a good rotation. We can reach up to 40 km per hour, a lot of hit points, and even the armor is not bad for a tank destroyer. 77mm, we're going to see it later on the battlefield. Some shots are going to bounce, especially while playing against tier 6 and tier 5 tanks. It's really cool. We can play very aggressive with this tank, but we have always to think we should not play that so aggressive because we're still a tank destroyer and we still also have to let the heavies and let the mediums spot for us, heavies take the shots for us, and we're going to sneak in the beginning a lot of shots, but in the end, if you are anyway outnumbering the enemy tanks, we can use this mobility, use this speed and rush and finish some enemy tanks. And the concealment is also great. 65% concealment is pretty cool. I'm using, of course, the improved assembly because even we have good armor, but it's not the best, that's why I go better for more hit points. So toolbox, if they track me, so I can very fast repair my tracks, and I'm using anyway the repair kit and the multi-purpose restoration. That doesn't make any sense to use the engine power boost, and of course adrenaline. What I want to say is we have really a good gun with good precision. We can really fire good accurate shots, and for clean, very accurate shots I use the supercharger, because if I use the enhanced gun laying drive, the shell velocity of this tank is not that great, so that's why I prefer to go for the supercharger, and with that I really can good precise shots with this tank. So actually that's it. There is not a lot of things to mention. It's really a good tank, but for players who want to just collect all the tanks in the game, it's cool, but this tank is really not that OP. Like for example the Cryos, that was really an OP tank, very strong, because we have here the Hellcat, for example. It's the same, it's very close to the Hellcat, and the Hellcat is even better in my opinion, because we have here better mobility, better DPM. Yeah, that's not better, I don't know, because we have with the Hellcat not that good armor, so it's something between Hellcat and Charles. It's really very hard to say which tank is better. Both are good, both are very strong tanks, but not that OP in my opinion, because we have just some better tank tier 6 tank destroyers in the game. But for some of you who want to just add this tank to his garage, to his collection, why not? It's worth it. It's really not a bad tank. It's also a good credit maker, and we can play very aggressively with this tank, and yeah, deal a lot of damage and make a lot of troubles for the enemy teams while playing with this tank. And now let's just jump to the battlefield. I got some nice battle replay for you guys. Let's go. Here we go. We are now at Copperfield. I like this map. I mostly go while playing with this tank medium side, whatever with which tank I'm playing, because I know that most of the tanks go also medium side, or I just try flank from this position, and from that hide behind the bush, and from that position I can snipe the heavies and the mediums. Yeah, as you can see, I'm very fast with this tank, reaching up to 40 km per hour, 37 km per hour average speed. And now I'm looking here, make sure that the enemy tanks cannot hit me from the side, and sneaking away the first shot. The enemy tanks are not focusing on me right now, that's why I was pushing, but now the PZ is wanna try to hit me, and shot bounce, as you can see, because we just have actually a good armor with this tank, also a good turret. We can play a little bit hard down, and some shots are going to bounce. Here we go, second shot with precision fire, 250 damage. That's really great for a tier 6 tank, so a very accurate gun. We can make a lot of damage, and with that fast reload time using adrenaline we can reach up to 4.7 seconds reload time. That's really great, and we can keep firing shots one after the other and sending a lot of enemy tanks to the garage. Here we go, the Leopard can't pen me also, so it's good. I mean, playing with a Hellcat, the Leopard is going to pen you, for example, because we have only 30mm of armor, but with this tank some tier 5 and tier 6 tanks will have problems to pen you, and that's why actually this tank in point of armor for a tier 6 tank destroyer, that's very strong. We got the Cryos, it's much more stronger. We have a really very strong or OP armor for a tier 6 tank destroyer, but this tank just have really, as you can see, a strong or a very strong armor for a tier 6 tank. Here we go, another Shawl from the side, very easy to pen, but it's always like this, when you can shoot in the last second the enemy tanks just go and hide again. I really hate it. I wanted to hit the tier 1 heavy because I just was frustrated because I wasn't able to hit the Shawl, but now he's going out again, and as you can see, it's really red for some spots, or on the tank profile, on the armor profile is pretty red, and as we saw, even with I was aiming on him with APCR shells, we were seeing that the armor was covered with a lot of red aiming on Shawl, so it's not that easy and tricky to pen this tank, especially if you are angling a little bit, but from the front, it's look at this again, so there is some red on that armor. It's a good armor actually for a tier 6 tank destroyer. And maybe that last shot from the IRL-44, yeah, I was a little bit bad, stopped me to do my Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, and that's why I got only a first class Mastery Badge with this Charlie. Yeah, and the 61k credits, really not bad at all, and of course in this battle I was the best player on my team, dealing 2.5k damage with a tier 6 tank is really great. So about the gun, I forgot to talk about the gun. It's a tier 7 gun, okay, so that's why the penetration of this tank is really OP. And yeah, I mean, really interesting tank, nice nice design, looks pretty cool, and also we can perform great battles with this tank on the battlefield. In general, I would give this tank, I don't know, I will classify this tank in the class very strong, not OP, not only strong, it's, for my opinion, very strong tank destroyer in his class. And it's actually worth it to go for it, especially for players who just want to collect all the tanks in this game. That's it about this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching, and yeah, it was a showcase about this yeah, new French tank destroyer. And stay safe, stay tuned, see you for sure soon in the next video. Bye bye.